This weekend, the PM used Saturday's World Pride event to liken the Voice referendum to the same-sex marriage plebiscite of 2017. He said he was confident, as with the marriage equality vote, that the government would succeed with the Voice to Parliament and people would say, why didn't we do this earlier?
In the referendum held in the second half of this year, Australians will have the opportunity to vote on two things: recognition and consultation. That is all this is about. Recognising that privilege that we have, showing respect to the traditional owners who have cared for this land for thousands of generations, and also the non-radical idea that people who are impacted by decisions of government, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, should be consulted on matters that affect them. That's simple. That's simple. And I'm very confident, just as when we got marriage equality done, people said, well, why didn't we do that earlier? And when we get this done, people will say, why didn't we do it earlier?
And he then went on to announce he'll be the first PM to march in Mardi Gras.
I'll also be the first Prime Minister not to watch the march on Mardi Gras, but to march.
Now, look, I think there's one big difference between the same-sex marriage plebiscite and the Voice, and that's that this time round we have no information, very little information. I mean, details are scant. Today we learned we could have even less detail than we thought because there's a parliamentary committee that's split over Peter Dutton's call for households to be issued with pamphlets detailing both the yes and no cases, and great, potential for even less detail. But Linda, I mean, I think I saw a photo of you with Albo yesterday. Is the confidence that he's showing here, it being the same as the same-sex marriage vote, is he getting ahead of himself?
It was a great pleasure to be with the Prime Minister yesterday to launch the naming of the Pride Square in his electorate in Grayndler. As you can imagine, he was absolutely mobbed with people wanting to come and say hello. And it was also lovely to hear him announce, as you said, that he would march in Mardi Gras as the first Prime Minister to do this. I've marched alongside him and many others from the Labor group for many, many years. So I think it's no surprise that he will be doing this as the Prime Minister. But this is, of course, a really wonderful thing to see for gay and lesbian communities. But just coming back to the point about the Voice, because I think this is really important. Nobody is underestimating how difficult this will be. Nobody knows, when you look back at the history of how referendums have gone in this country and look at how many have failed, nobody is underestimating how challenging this is going to be to come together as Australians and to ask them to vote yes for this really significant change.